And good morning, 14 minutes after 8 o'clock on your Wednesday morning. Joining us in studio this morning from Big Brothers Big Sisters of Southeastern New Mexico, Mr. Bill Wolf is Kim Dezendorf. How are you guys doing this morning?
We're great.
Doing good.
Good to hear, good to hear. How was your Christmas?
It was lovely.
Yeah?
Yeah, I had all my family home, so that makes it
Awesome. Very cool.
Yep.
Long travel? I mean, a lot of travel for your family?
Portland and Denver.
Holy moly. Nice. Are they still here? Have you
Yes,
already...
they are. They're still here.
So have you hit the wall yet?
No, because I've got one granddaughter and she's here, so that's all right.
That makes
the house
everything...
looks like a hurricane hit it,
but of course that's the best mess ever. You know, the ones that memories are made from. But that's good to hear you haven't hit the wall yet, because everybody has that moment where like seeing your family's great, and it's good to see Uncle Jim, but it's time for you to go now. It's time for you to leave. But that's good. You got the grands in town, so that definitely puts a sparkle in the eye. Do you guys have more of a traditional Christmas, or do you guys? What's the big tradition for your family? Anything specific?
We have a traditional Christmas breakfast.
Okay.
That we do.
Nice.
And it's eggs in a cream sauce that we serve on a English muffin with a slice of Canadian bacon, and you put the eggs on top.
So eggs Benedict.
It's kind of, but
essentially, like an offshoot.
It's
Okay.
and with ambrosia. So we did that, and it was fantastic.
I love me some ambrosia.
Yes.
It's like it's low key one of my favorite parts of any holiday meal.
Right.
I get mad when it's not on the table. It's like, you dare serve this meal without ambrosia salad? How dare you? Well, Christmas is all packed up, and actually, I got yelled at because I already took my tree down. My girlfriend was like, "You're such a humbug." I'm like, my kids are at their mom's house. I don't want to see this. I have cats.
Right.
I don't want to clean this mess up every single day.
Do the cats go after the tree?
Oh,
or the ornament?
The first day they left it pretty alone. Like they were, I think they were in awe of it and confused by it. But by day 2, they were like, I can take this down. Yeah, I can handle this. So yeah, Christmas was a success, and now we look forward to 2022. How is the year as we wrap things up? How is the year looking for Big Brothers Big Sisters?
Well, we've got a lot of changes going on.
Okay.
It was a good year for us from a standpoint that we were able to maintain a lot of what we'd accomplished. Of course, when they closed the schools down on us, it kind of hurt us a lot because our programs are still kind of shut down there. But we're hoping that in the next couple of months things will start opening up again here, so we can do some matches there.
Yeah, and just when you think just when things are starting to kind of calm down and open back up, people are getting their booster shots and everything. Then you get the Omicron, rearing its head. Now people are talking more once again about shutdowns and remote learning and travel restrictions, and that's got to put a damper on. It puts a damper on everything, but especially on y'all's program, because it's so involved with the kids and with the schools and being able to interact.
Right. Yeah. It Kim keeps up our Facebook and we try to stay connected in as many ways as we can. Especially all the staff calls all the littles on a monthly basis, and we've been a little more we've provided a little more service than we might ordinarily provide, simply because a lot of the kids are still kind of isolated.
Right.
But in the families and stuff. But things are going okay. We've got some changes coming up.
Okay.
Over the next month. I'm retiring.
Is that right?
Yes.
Well, congratulations.
Well, I think
Question
so.
mark?
But I've got good staff left behind. Kim is one of them. Mm-hmm. She's our office administrator. She'll handle
everything.
dot.
It's no different than what she's already been doing.
Right.
But and then another, I'm really excited about some other changes we're making. There are currently 3 agencies in New Mexico that are Big Brothers Big Sisters. Mm-hmm. There's one in Albuquerque, one in Santa Fe, and one in Roswell.
Right.
And a lot of it, we used to have like 5 or 6, and as time goes by, some of the larger agencies have partnered with the smaller agencies, and it's worked. It's a win-win for everything. And so we're going to be partnering with Central New Mexico, which is out of Albuquerque.
Okay. So now we'll be tied in with Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central New Mexico, and we'll essentially cover the entire southern swath of the state.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
It's happened in Farmington. It's happened in Las Cruces. It's happened in Alamogordo. It's becomes an issue of economies of scale.
Sure.
If we kind of merge with them, then we don't have two insurance policies to pay for.
Right.
We don't have two national fees to pay for, and
it's resource management essentially.
It is, yeah.
And not only that, but it also opens up our program here in Southeastern, here in Southern New Mexico, to more resources, to more funding, to more to maybe to more attention.
Yes.
Finally getting some attention from the North 40.
Yeah.
Which is nice. We don't get that down these parts very often. So
yeah.
That's kind of nice.
What hasn't changed, we're still going to have our office here in Roswell, our office in Artesia, and we're going to have the same board of directors.
Good. I think that's a big fear too with consolidation is loss of local access and the abilities for those agencies to continue to function. But yeah, no fear there because the Roswell and Artesia office will still be there, will still be functioning, and just better, just with more more resources and better management.
Well, and then all the donations that we receive locally will stay local.
Okay.
Our donors don't have to worry about, the money they give here going up to Albuquerque or elsewhere. That will be a thing that will stay.
Okay. So they designate those funds specifically for the southern the southern half of the state for these folks, for these offices.
Yeah.
So some big changes coming in 2022. I'll tell you, that's exciting.
Yeah, and I think it's everything's that I've tried to do and we've all tried to do is make sure that the kids are still serviced here in Southeast New Mexico. I talked to the people up in Farmington that merged with Central New Mexico, and they said what it does, it really opens up opportunities for additional funding that because we're a small agency wouldn't be able to do, especially a lot of federal funds.
Right, absolutely, and that's key because you have a bigger agency like Albuquerque, they have access not only to the folks who can who are writing the grants, grant proposals and things like that. So they have access to all those extra funds. Those funds can be designated for Southern New Mexico.
Yes,
it's win-win.
Yeah, it is. And the program we have right now, I think it's going to be nothing but growth from a standpoint of a lot of the services that we provided here, we can switch over to more recruitment and marketing and things like that to get our name out and to recruit bigs and to recruit littles.
And that's really what it's all about. I mean, you could talk about offices and consolidation, funding and grant writing and all that till you're blue in the face, but ultimately it's about connecting bigs with littles. It's about taking kids who don't, who maybe don't have a positive influence in their life, who can, show them the right way to be or just be there for them and giving them a chance for, an hour a week, a couple hours a week to just be a normal kid.
Yes.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the program itself. Obviously, there's always a need. We're always looking for bigs. I'm sure that we're flooded with littles, but we're also in this transition period with we don't know masks with COVID protocols, what's open, what's not open. So it presents a challenge, and I think a lot of folks maybe are hesitant to jump on board because of they're not sure what hoops they have to jump through.
Yes, and that's one thing that's come out of this whole deal with COVID is virtual meetings, a lot of stuff that we haven't really been able to do in the past because there's always been it has to be face to face. But we're finding now that it may not be meeting a child face to face may not be is the best way, but if you can do it virtually also, then that will help.
Sure. I mean, it's anything is something. Essentially, a face is still a face, but it's very impersonal, and I think that's a big part of over the last year and a half with especially with like the remote learning and education. Yeah, you're still getting the education, but it just there's something that's impersonal about that. But I agree that having that person there makes a difference.
Yes,
it absolutely does. But so we're not. We're still doing face to face when when it's appropriate, correct?
Yes. We shut down all of our matches from meeting in the very beginning, but now with proper protocol and stuff, our bigs and littles in the what we call a community match, where they actually go to the little's house, pick them up, and take them to whatever they're going to do their activity. Gotcha. We're doing that again.
Okay.
And some moms don't feel comfortable with that, so we work around what they do feel comfortable with, and then of course we look at what's going on in our state and stuff as far as what we got to do to provide the special needs and services in a safe manner.
Okay. So, but there's options available. So if a parent doesn't necessarily feel comfortable with their child or with a big coming and picking up their child, there's remote options. There's neutral meetup point options.
Yes.
Things like that can be arranged. It's really just a matter of discussing things and being open to what could happen.
Yeah.
Nice. And one cool thing is, I was going to point this out. I'm weird. I don't watch like regular TV. I watch YouTube a lot. So I follow this channel on YouTube it's a board game club. They play a lot of board games. But during quarantine, they were having to like work around it. One of the coolest things about the quarantine, about the pandemic, board game manufacturers put like every single board game that exists into an online form where you can play via Zoom.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like I sat and played Connect 4 with somebody via Zoom. It's such a cool thing. It's like, and he beat me 3 times. That's not the point. But there's all these different options. It really has given you a chance. You could, pop a streaming service on and both watch a movie together. There's still those options. If we're still together, on the screen, I can still hear your interactions. So there are options. It's not as personal, but there are definite options.
Yes.
That's what it's all about. So the need is out there. We are definitely still looking for bigs. Let's give folks kind of an idea of how the process works. If somebody's listening and decides, I have some extra time, I want to take some time and maybe help change a kid's life, where does the process start?
Well, you would contact us. You can either call us at 575-627-2227. That's the office. Or you can go to www.bbbssenm.org and sign up there. And so once you initiate the contact, you will have to go through an application process and a background check.
Okay.
And then there is an in-person interview. Of course, COVID rules apply, depending on what the situation is. And then once you go through the in-person interview and pass the background check, then they work on matching you with a little, and they match based on shared likes or shared interests, shared hobbies. So like if there's a little that's on the waiting list that is really interested in cooking, and you happen to be somebody that just really loves to cook, you guys might be a good match. And they also do it based on personalities as well. They take all these factors into account to try to match you with a child that you guys can have things to build a relationship on.
So like if you let's say never played a game of chess in your life, you don't get matched with like a child chess prodigy or something.
Right.
That would maybe not augur well for you in the relationship department. But that's good that you guys pay so much attention to shared interest. I think that's really, really important moving forward in the relationship. Absolutely. So
and then after we make the match, we don't just say, okay, Joe, here's your little Jimmy. Go out and have a good time.
Right.
We make sure that we ask for 4 hours a month.
Okay.
Excuse me.
So 4 hours a month,
sure,
a minimum, and you can do more if you want to, and if and you just kind of coordinate with the child's parent or guardian. But then the match support people will check in with you periodically, and how's it going? Do you have any questions or concerns? Do you need any guidance of any kind? They also check in with the little's family and ask the same questions, and they kind of guide the relationship and help it get off on a good footing and make sure that everything is going well.
And like you said, 4 hours is a minimum. You're going to find, you're going to start building a relationship with these kids, and you're going to want to spend time with them. You're going to want to be a part of their lives and of their stories and get to hear, how things are going with them, how things are going at school. I have a friend, Marie, who's been a big for a long time, and she's some of the littles that she's had over the years, they've gone on bigger and better things, and they still keep in contact with her. Yeah. They're still incredibly close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. We've had matches that the matches were made when the child was, say, in 4th grade, and they're graduating from high school.
It's amazing. Yeah. And you're that positive influence. It all started with this one meetup that you're with them for the long haul.
Yeah.
You get to hear all their stories. It's really awe inspiring, and it's as much for you as it is for them.
That's exactly right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've had a lot of bigs that said, I went into this thinking I was going to help change a child's life, and turns out the child changed my life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You never know what you need until it presents itself in your life, and maybe what you needed was that little inspiration to kind of spurn you forward a little bit.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yep.
So moving into 2022, obviously still looking for bigs, and. Now, littles too. I mean, obviously, all taking all comers. It's always open. If you're a young person listening and maybe you think I need, I could use a little, positive encouragement in my life. It's open for kids as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Most of our referrals for children come from either the parent, the guardian. Most of our kids are living with a grandmother,
right?
Or some of them are in foster care. They don't typically have what we call a family unit type of thing. And that's part of the reason that I think the guardian, the parent, single mom wants to have another influence in their life so that they can kind of open up a child's perspective on what is available out there, not just what they see is available to them.
Exactly. Yeah, it is a complete, like you said, a different perspective, because a mom can have one set way of seeing things, and that can't be shook, that can't be changed until another perspective comes in and presents itself. At that point, then a perspective can change and be like, okay, well, there are other ways to go about doing this. So it really is, it's great for everyone. It's great for the parents. It's great for guardians and really for the littles as well.
Yeah.
So moving into 2022, big things in store, obviously, with you retiring. Any big plans for retirement?
My wife's making them for me as I speak.
She's jotting things down. Yeah. So travel, I'm assuming, maybe go see a few things, visit some family.
Yep.
Okay.
We don't have anybody that lives here, so it's we either they've got to come here, or we've got to go there. So it'll be fun.
There you go. Opportunities for moving on, but the program itself moves forward. Now, if folks want more information about Big Brothers Big Sisters are we still calling it Southeastern New Mexico?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So Big Brothers Big Sisters of Southeastern New Mexico. The website, little bit complicated, bbbssenm.org.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I think you can just Google Big Brothers Big Sisters Roswell, New Mexico, and it'll bring you right to it.
It's a little easy. I was just going to say, just keep hitting B's and S's on your keyboard until something pops up.
Yeah, when I got there, I said, I got to change. Like, all our email addresses are that, too, at BBBSS. I'm thinking, but I've never changed. But most people, after a while, they understand what it is.
I'm presented with a similar issue because I'm on the board of directors for Tobosa, and I have to tell people that our website is trytobosa.org. It's like, why not just Tobosa? It's already taken. That's not the point.
Yeah.
So try Tobosa, but yeah. So it's a similar problem that you have to kind of. I've learned to start explaining things in military because PVBC is our email. So I always say Peter Victor Bravo Charlie. It just makes things a little easier, Unless people are, that's a really long email. Peter Victor Bravo Charlie. Oh, silly. The phonic, definitions. But so bbbssenm.org, or just Google Big Brothers Big Sisters of Roswell or Southeastern New Mexico, and that'll give you the info you need to know. Or call 627-2227, correct?
Yep. And that's BBBS.
Yes. Is it really?
Yes, it is.
Oh, look at that. 627-2227. That's well played. Well, congratulations.
Well, thank you
on your retirement.
One other thing I want to say: the agency that we are partnering with now, last year they were voted the #1 agency in the whole United States for Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Yes.
Awesome.
And the lady that runs it is awesome, and she's been there probably for 25 years.
That's great.
She brings a lot to the table for people here in Roswell. That's one of the things that I wanted to make sure of and I think our programs are going to just continue to grow.
It's easy to slip into that mindset of, consolidation, and, people could, lose jobs, and it's the corporate structure. Whatever. This isn't, it's not like that. This is basically tapping into more resources, not only more resources, but like you said, tapping into countrywide renowned programs that have been set up through the Albuquerque program. So, I mean, that's phenomenal.
Yes.
It's bigger and better for big brothers, big sisters here in Southeastern New Mexico. I think it's great. It's awesome. Well, Bill, Kim, thank you guys so much for your time. We appreciate having you here. And obviously, as you're moving on to bigger and better things, I'm assuming, Kim, you'll be the new face of Big Brothers moving forward?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes, and our local. She'll do a good job.
Oh, absolutely.
She's been the face of it, but just never in person.
Yeah, behind the scenes.
There you go. Yeah. You're the puppet master, but now you get to get down and do a little dancing.
Yes.
There you go. Well, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate having you guys here. And
well, thank you. And I really appreciate I've probably been doing this with Mike I started in 2012, so it's been a while.
Yeah.
But
almost 10 years.
You guys have helped us out on everything that we do, and I really, just from personally, you've helped me out a lot too. Because I'll like I heard you this morning talking about us. We're going to be on, and him and Mike know as much about the program as probably anybody in Roswell besides us.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is we've kind of followed along with the story of from the Big Green Beast to everything, and kind of watching the program grow and change and become what it's become. It's awesome. And now you're letting the baby birds fly, leaving it in capable hands, and moving on to bigger and better things. It's awesome.
Yep.
We've grown up with you. Now we get to you're our Mr. Feeney, basically.
Yeah.
And so we get to watch Mr. Feeney kind of go on to greener pastures.
Yes.
It's been nice. Well, thank you guys once again so much for your time, and we'll definitely we'll keep the dream alive moving forward.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you.
We'll do our best.